Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 11, Episode 9, overall 559 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles, as well as Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family-run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and yours truly has been a customer of Barry Cullen Chevrolet for the last 25 years. And again, Barry Cullen Chevrolet is a main sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. I hope everyone's doing well on this. I can't believe it's already Friday, July 11th, 2025. And I'm looking forward and hoping my guest will be able to come on tonight. My guest who is scheduled tonight, I believe, is having some technical difficulties, so hopefully we can get her on. Her name is Jenaya Parker. She is the founder of J. Parker Sports Agency Management Firm, dedicated to representing, developing, and elevating elite women's basketball athletes across the WNBA. So, well, hopefully Jenaya Parker will be able to come on. And as we wait for Jenaya Parker to come on, just wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow I will be in Hamilton, Ontario at Hamilton Stadium as freelance independent media. And I'm going to be covering the Hamilton Tiger Cats game against the Ottawa Red Blacks game at Hamilton Stadium, formerly known as Tim Hortons Stadium, at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And the Tiger Cats are going to get one of their key free agent signings tomorrow night too. Reggie Stubfield has been cleared for that game tomorrow too. So Ottawa's 1-4 and Hamilton is 2-2, and Hamilton's coming off an impressive road win against the Grey Cup champion Toronto Argonauts this past week in Toronto, 51-38. And Bo Levi Mitchell, I think, had almost 400 yards passing, 5 touchdown passes. And number 89, Kenny Lawler, had a big, like 6 catches for 207 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Argonauts, who are on a bye week. Speaking of the Toronto Argonauts, who are on a bye week, the Argo Bounce podcast show with Nick Small and myself is on a bye week. Our next show, episode 5, is going to be this Tuesday, July 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 on the West Coast. And Nick and I are going to break down the Argos' loss to the Cats, 51-38. And we're going to talk about the bye week and if they'll get some key players back in the lineup, like Chad Kelly, their quarterback. And we'll preview the upcoming game on July 17th against the Montreal Alouettes in Montreal at McGill Stadium. So that's a huge game too. The Argos and Alouettes next Thursday, July 17th. And we'll see what happens. I believe Chad Kelly will be starting that game as well. As we wait for a guest, Jenaya Parker, to come on, I'm going to play a little interview I did with one of the Argonauts a couple weeks ago after their home loss to Saskatchewan Roughriders. This is Argos offensive lineman Dylan Giffen. That's Giffen, not Griffin. I made a mistake of calling him Griffin by mistake, so it's Dylan Giffen, and he was kind enough to do a post-game interview with me as well. We're going to play this clip courtesy of my YouTube channel. Comment here in the Toronto Argonauts locker room at BMO Field after today's game between Calgary, Toronto, the Stamps, and the Targets. Dylan Griffin here, and Dylan Giffen. Sorry, I apologize.
It's all good.
Just thoughts on the game today.
Yeah, we just got to do the small things right a little bit better and stick to running the ball. Just do little things right and a little bit better and execute and win our one-on-one battles more. We're going to watch the film and learn from our mistakes.
What's a fun fact about you that Argo fans might not know about you?
I don't have many fun facts. I'm an open book and I share everything.
Any story behind your number that you wear?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
All right. Well, hey, I want to say thank you for doing this, and we'll see you back here on June 20th against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Thank
Sounds
you so
good.
much, Dylan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
That was Dylan Giffen, offensive lineman with the Toronto Argonauts. And I want to say thanks to Chris Belinovich and the Toronto Argonauts for my media opportunities the last couple years as well. And I want to say thank you to everyone watching the show live stream and on my audio platforms as well. We're still waiting for my guest, Jenaya Parker, founder and owner of J. Parker Sports Agency firm in San Diego, to come on. I believe she's having some technical difficulties, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get her back on as well. And I want to say congratulations to Inter-County Baseball League player from the Hamilton Cardinals, Owen Boone, who's a former London Major, by the way. He pitched a no-hitter last night against the Kitchener Panthers. I believe it's the first no-hitter in the IBL, if I'm correct. Hopefully I'm accurate here. First one in the IBL since 1985, which was 40 years ago, and only the second Hamilton Cardinal player to ever throw a no-hitter. The first one was done in 1976. So a shout out to Owen Boone throwing a no-hitter in the inter-county baseball matchup between Hamilton and Kitchener last night. Hamilton won, obviously. And if you've never been to an IBL game, it is semi-pro baseball. And a lot of these guys, they have other jobs or still in school. And it's really talented and really competitive. And I want to say thank you to the Kitchener Panthers for my media pass. I was there this past Sunday when they took on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team has been kind enough to let me interview a couple players like Dustin Richardson, who's their GM as well, and Rob DeSantos as well, who's one of their outfielders and shortstops as well. So check out their website, ibl.ca, or go to a game in your area. They have 9 teams in the league: Guelph, Kitchener, London, Chatham, Welland, Barrie, Toronto, Hamilton. It's really good baseball as well. Speaking of baseball, guys, the Detroit Tigers have I believe they set a team record with 7 players going to this year's All-Star game, the American League National League All-Star game, which is going to take place on Tuesday, July 15th in Atlanta, and it looks like Tarek Skudrow is going to be the starter, but Casey Mize was added as well as a member of the Detroit Tigers, and Zach McKinstry has made it as a utility player, and then you have 3 starters, Riley Green, Javi Baez, and Gleyber Torres, as 3 of the 9 starting All-Stars. So the Detroit Tigers coming into the All-Star break one game ahead of the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. And guys, I do definitely with her as well. So what I'm going to question is, and let me know if you can hear my audio. I have new headphones as well, so we're gonna try something here. The virtual background doesn't always work, so you know what? We're gonna leave the virtual background alone. There's issues with it lately, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play an interview that I did with Dustin Richardson, who's a pitcher and general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was kind enough to give me an interview. So we're going to play this interview right now, courtesy of my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go to Chris Palme Live with CDP Sports Talk and hit the subscribe notifications. And we're going to play this interview with Dustin Richardson, now GM and pitcher with the Toronto Maple Leafs and a former member of the Boston Red Sox in Major League Baseball as well. Just 1 second, and there's my interview with Dustin Richardson from the Toronto Maple Leafs of the Intercounty Baseball League.
Live at Jack Kelch Park in Kitchener, Ontario, after tonight's Intercounty Baseball League action, with the Toronto Maple Leafs defeating the Kitchener Panthers 9-5 in a back-to-back series that happened Saturday at Christie Pitts and today here in Kitchener. I have a special guest here, Toronto Maple Leafs pitcher Dustin Richardson. Dustin,
him in top of the league. He's been awesome for us, and just having him around helps. But you know, winning's always important. It cures a lot of things. We just need some guys to get healthy as well. But a lot of guys are stepping up right now and playing pretty good.
can you tell my audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am the GM / pitcher with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Before that, I played 14 years professionally, mostly with Boston, a couple years in big leagues with them, parts of 2 seasons. Spent some time in the winter leagues in Venezuela and Mexico, winning the championship as well with Venezuela. So I love baseball. I'm 41 and I'm married Canadian. That's how we're up here in Canada.
Who are some of your early baseball influences and mentors in your career?
Oh man, there's quite a bit. I grew up watching the home run slugfest between Sosa and McGuire, Nolan Ryan. I had a poster of him on my wall. Of course, Randy Johnson being a tall left-hander. So, you know, there's a lot of guys I looked up to. You know, but at the end of the day, you got to kind of find out how you want to pitch and how your body wants to work, and make the best of it.
What's a word to describe you as a pitcher and a player?
Competitor.
And what are your thoughts on the Intercounty Baseball League overall, the talent in this league with the 9 teams?
Yeah, it gets better every year. When I first got here, just before COVID, and during the COVID, you know, there were some good players, but it's grown ever since. And adding 5 imports as well has definitely helped. A lot more Canadian talents is coming around because of what's going on with Major League Baseball, the trickle-down effect, with less teams in the minor league. So there's a lot of good players here. And, you know, I don't take these guys lightly. If I do, they will get me. So it's good baseball here, and I enjoy it.
What are your thoughts on the first woman to play in the Intercounty Baseball League in men's professional baseball?
It needed to be tested, and Ayami shows that she can pitch. She can pitch. You know, obviously she suffers from some biological, you know, standpoints, but if she just threw a little harder, you know, she'd be one of the better pitchers in this league, I believe, because she does repeat her delivery. She prepares. She's very professional about her business and how she goes about everything. But she can pitch, and I think it's just a beautiful thing. We have a woman in this league, and you know, I think every team should have an exemption to have a woman player on their team if they wanted to help promote with the women's baseball league that's going to be happening, and just the opportunities in general.
How much has social media and the internet impacted the Intercounty Baseball League?
It shows that it's growing. I think you see more fans. You're seeing more fans. There's a lot more excitement around the league, I feel like, this year. Every year since I've been in it. It's growing, and you see it at Christie Pitts at the Hill. You see it in Welland, of course, with Welland coming in and everything they're doing over there, and some other places. So it's an exciting league, and there's some good players here.
Dustin, for those people that have never been to a Leafs game at Christie Pitt or an IBL game, what would you tell these fans?
come to the pits. It's beautiful down there. There's something magical about the place. It's a beautiful ballpark, sitting down in a bowl, and you can sit on the hill. It's free. And you can have a picnic and watch a good baseball game.
Finally, thoughts on Rob Butler as a manager, and is there a fun fact about you?
About me?
Yeah, fun fact about you.
Thoughts on Rob Butler? Yeah, he's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Rob, he's awesome. Just a great mentor for the guys. Good tool to have, bounce ideas off of. Unfortunately, he hasn't been here past 3 days. But, he's going to be around, and, he's just a good leader, and we enjoy having him around. Fun fact about myself. Wow. Man.
What about a walk-up song when you come on the mound?
Yeah, we have the Undertaker theme. So fun fact about myself, there you go. I was coined, I don't know how it got coined, but the Undertaker, because I think I'm old. And I think I'm just a competitor and serious out there, obviously, but I have fun as well. And so it's only appropriate to come out to the Undertaker theme song.
And finally, where can people follow you on social media and your next game for the Leafs?
Yeah, you can follow me on the Leafs social media handle, as well as, I'm not on a lot social media quite that often. I don't post a lot, but you can easily find me. Just type my name in.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for
That was former Major League Baseball Maple Leafs as well. Unfortunately, I'm not sure my guest scheduled tonight is going to be able to make it. Jenaya Parker, I think we got the times mixed up. She right now is currently out on the West Coast, which is about 3 hours behind us. And I thought we originally scheduled this for 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 on the West Coast. So there was a miscommunication there. So I'm crossing my fingers she still might be able to come on for a few minutes. But if not, we'll have to reschedule with Jenaya Parker, the founder of J. Parker Sports Agency Management Firm. And she's also a certified WNBA sports agent. And she's a former assistant women's basketball coach at Illinois, which I think Illinois Wesleyan. So before we're going to keep the show going, guys. Like I said, I will try to reschedule with her again in the future. Right now, there's a summer event drive going on at Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Check out a 2025 Equinox LT all-wheel drive midnight edition lease from $218 bi-weekly. That's like $109 weekly at 4.9% interest for 24 months with $5,600 down payment on an ultra low kilometer lease. More details at barrycullen.com. And Barry Cullen Chevrolet is a proud sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're looking to advertise your business and want to do it on a live stream show like mine, check out CDP Media Productions. I'm also the producer, host, and content creator of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the Argo Bounce podcast show, a weekly show devoted to the CFL's Toronto Argonauts, and the Small Talk podcast, which is a once-a-month entertainment talk show with Marlene Sharp and myself. You can email me at cpame19@gmail.com or DM me on my social media platforms. I am on all social media platforms, including TikTok and everywhere. And my YouTube channel is going on 500,000 views. And I'm also over 9,000 plays on Spotify as well. So if you're looking to advertise, check out CDP Media Productions. My prices are reasonable and fair. And I have listeners in 46 countries around the world. And my YouTube channel is growing as well. So please consider CDP Media Productions if you're looking to advertise your business on live streaming, which is the future and the normal of broadcasting here now as well. And as we wrap up the show, guys, I'm going to play another video clip in a minute. And I'm going to play it in 1 second. But first, I want to say this as well. If you're in the Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, Guelph area, and you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge and District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623 extension, 519-623-7722 extension 0, or you can check out their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the animals that are up for adoption, their profiles are on their website. And if you're looking to volunteer like I do twice a week at the Cambridge District Humane Society, please check out the Cambridge Humane Society's website. Again, I have it on the ticker, and fill out that volunteer form as well. And also, they once a week they do a pet emergency fund for those people in the Cambridge area that are struggling financially with the cost of pet food. If you're able to donate pet food, dog food, cat food, bunny food for bunny rabbits, that would be greatly appreciated as well. And at the Cambridge District Humane Society right now, they're looking for garbage bags, cat litter, cat treats, dog treats, bedding, gift cards to the Dollarama store as well. And again, the Cambridge Humane Society is right across from the Cambridge Mall here as well. As we going to wrap up the show, guys, I'm going to play another video clip from my YouTube channel, and I want to say thank you to 644 YouTube subscribers now. I know that's not a lot, but I appreciate all 644 of you. And my YouTube channel is getting close to 500,000 views. So thank you so much. I'm going to try to play one more interview tonight that I did with Greg Hamilton from the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame about a month ago. He is a Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2025. And I had the pleasure of meeting Greg and interviewing with him at the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. So what I'm going to do is, since we're waiting for a guest, I'm not sure if she's going to be able to show up or not. I'm going to play this video of Hamilton, courtesy of my YouTube channel. And if you already haven't subscribed, please consider checking out my work. And this is Greg Hamilton, who was introduced into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame for his contributions to the game of baseball in Canada. Just 1 second, and I'm going to play this clip right now.
That's the essence of everything, and it's so rewarding.
Question here.
Have you noticed a change over 30 years of coaching in the sense that the technology's really moved the needle on things, that you have to use it, you can't ignore it?
Yeah, I think the one thing with the technology is I'd like to think I'd say I'm the brightest bear in the woods, but I'd like to think I'm bright enough to understand that that's where the game is and that's where the game is going to go. But I also truly believe that middle ground is what really is the essence of the evolutionary part of that. I mean, I struggle with somebody's old school and somebody's new school. If you're a really good baseball person, you're a really good baseball person. And I think that there's some tremendous new school baseball people. There's some tremendous old school, and blending the two is where the game, I think, is creeping back to, and where the game needs to go to. I mean, I love the athleticism of the game. I mean, doing it kind of the way I do it. I mean, to the appreciation for somebody that can move around athletically and cover ground as an outfielder with reads and jumps, or move easy in the infield and cover ground. I always struggled when we were into the shift world, and you went to a ballpark and you watched people trying to hit balls through a wall or over a wall. I would pay to watch Aaron Judge do that. Not a lot of other people I want to pay to see if they can do that. So I just love coming back to, and again, it's not moving away from analytics, but it's moving back to the overall essence of what the sport is. You go to the ballpark and you watch Lindor range, or you watch, any of the great defensive players do their thing. And I say, like, the overall tools, or the essence of the tool of the player, shows. It's not just, we're coming to watch home runs and we're coming to watch 110 mile fastballs. You start to see guys pitch again. And so I think it's kind of
The cycle.
Yeah. We use it, and you're crazy if you don't, because there's some real gems in there. But the danger I find in the downside is that too much information in development can be really, really challenging, because I've always felt as a coach that when you ask a player to make an adjustment in any context, that's intimidating. because by essence, the player feels that what they're doing is not good enough to get to where they want to get to. So you got to be very careful. I'm really careful with that. Anytime I'm asking the player to make an adjustment, or we are as a staff, to understand that that player, especially our younger players, they've had success in their little world before, and now they're failing, and you're asking them to make an adjustment. If you don't do that the right way, and you just pile on information, these kids will run for all that information, and they just lose who they are, the essence of the player they are. So that's the one aspect.
It's a mental game as much as it is.
It's a huge mental game.
Yeah. An empty mind, full bat. I heard
100%.
years ago here. So,
Greg, congratulations on getting into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. What was some of your most memorable moments as a coach, and who were some of your early influences when you first started coaching?
I mean, I got into coaching, I'd say, my playing career allowed coaching to find me, or me to find coaching. I played a high enough level that you have to be to kind of, play the game at the highest levels. And I've coached at a high enough level to understand how hard it is to, put things together and become that type of player. So my coach was the first person, I guess he saw something in an undersized right-hander that, would lead to a quick alternate career, and thankfully he suggested it be coaching, and he kind of saw some coaching in an average right-hander, and suggested that in his mind I had some attributes to do that. So I guess they say the best resume or the best application is the one that you do in person. I had an opportunity to do that for 4 years under him, and well, I had a few good moments. I didn't have enough, so he suggested to get into coaching, and I'm really glad he did. So that was kind of the beginning part. And
Greg, what was his name? Sorry,
Tom O'Connell. Not with us anymore, unfortunately. But, and then I've just got a wealth of national teams. Again, I could think of, back-to-back Pan Am gold medals. Standing in Ajax with our group. Pile of players that had played 15, 16 years of pro ball, and a coaching staff of, guys that have been in the game for their lives. Some, a Hall of Famer in there, and Walk, and Ernie, and Leap, and all the guys, and Bush, and standing there and watching the three flags go up at the closing ceremonies and get played. And I say it's like when you're a kid and you go and the kids bet there and the three things go up, and the one that gets to the top, you get a prize. And the Canadian flag got to the top, and the American flag stopped short, and the Cuban flag stopped in third place. And you wanted to freeze that moment in time, because in the sport of baseball, I have a real appreciation of how hard that is to do in baseball, to have a Canadian flag above those two countries. And that doesn't happen every day. There's some tremendous Cuban players, and obviously the United States and their national team, speaks for itself. So it's moments like that. It's going into Olympic opening ceremonies and realizing you have the opportunity to be part of a nation's excellence, and not just their own sporting excellence, and see, how your peers, the players, our coaching staff that we, at that level, our senior and pro level, been together for so long, and it merits it because they're tremendous. And, you kind of become one, you just go in there and it's all about your country, and it's different. As I say, it's not necessarily, I can't say that it's better than a bat flip in the World Series, because I never got close to a bat flip in the World Series as a player or as a manager, or as a front office executive. But I will say it's incredibly unique. And,
what has baseball meant to you in your life?
Other than my family, which, when you're in baseball, you're on the road a lot. So I say I've tried really hard there to make sure that I haven't missed, things that are incredibly important. I have two young kids that have moved along and getting a little bit older now, and my wife and my mom who's here today. And but beyond that, it's been my life. I love it. I've had a chance to, and I want to say this respectfully, I've had a chance to have a little bit of an impact on a lot of people's kids, and that's a great honor. That's a tremendous honor, and I don't take that lightly, and I hope they'll let me do it for a little while longer, because I still feel really passionate about it.
Greg, how would you describe yourself as a coach?
I think I'm a player's coach. Again, I didn't play high enough to play at the highest levels, but I did play at a high enough level in a couple sports to understand how good you have to be to be a professional, how good you have to be to play collegiate sport. I mean, you still fall in the 1% category if you're going to go and play collegiate baseball in our world. And if you're going to become a pro, it's even a smaller pool. And I understand how hard the game is. I think our game is, certainly the hitting component is the most difficult thing to do in any sport. I've coached a very small number of players that, if you ask me, hey, would you mortgage your house on them playing a day in the big leagues? There's a small number that I would take that bet, but there were a whole lot of them that I felt that if they continue with their love, their work, they made a few adjustments that they needed to make, and they were long on desire and resiliency, that they would have a chance. And that's kind of the really rewarding part of it, is to be able to, see something in a player that in our world is enough to invite them to a national team training camp, and then put them in an environment where they're challenged unlike they've ever been before, and then make sure that you catch them when they're falling, because you can see that deer in the headlight looks when they're failing, which they do. We put them against pros as young players, and they're going to fail. I mean, very few that haven't. Maybe Josh Naylor did fail, but it's very few. Yeah. But and that's the love of coaching. I mean, you look at a player and you see that look, and they fear. I mean, they fear that their dreams may not work relative to who they just faced today as a hitter. I always say sometimes, hey, that was a slider, guys. I can remember when Adam Mullen came for his first trip. We brought him at 15 years old, and still, the most talented overall player that I've ever seen. I mean, his injuries got him.
Pitched and feel like.
I think he's a trivia question. Still the only guy who got to the big leagues 3 times,
right?
3 different positions.
Come on.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I remember we were playing at Disney at ESPN Wildlife Sports. We used to have our camps there, instruction ring and extended, and the Braves used to be there, right? Now the teams used to be in. So in extended and instructional, you would know that if the innings get a little carried away, you just roll them. You get the pitcher out of there, and let's, I'd say a couple of those games we'd still be there if we didn't roll in the early years. But I remember, roll it, and Adam had no idea. Like he'd just come out of Little League and dominated everybody. And he was actually hanging in against the Braves at basically 14 years old, turning 15. But we wanted to protect him and make sure that it didn't get sideways. So, I think of some of the players that we got in done so well, and it's you have to protect confidence. You asked about numbers, but you have to, confidence is everything. Like, belief is everything, that they can do it. And every player we have has something. I mean, I always say at the national level, you don't get to the tell kids, you don't get to this level unless there's something. Very few, you have 5 of them. So we're not going to, the ones that do, envy them, and they're not, don't envy them, but, tip your cap, because, I always say you have to concede with pride. So you're going to give away a couple things that you're not going to be able to do very well, and really pound hard at your strengths. And here's how you're going to have an opportunity, and here's why, and you explain it to the player. It's nice to see when they kind of get over that hump, and, you're watching Denzel, first 19 at bats, can get a hit, comes home to Toronto, and you could just see, like, I mean, and it's like, that's at the major league level, but I can remember Denzel as a young kid, and, it's, you sit back in your little space and you just have a little emotional moment. I'm happy for him, because how important that is. I mean, it's, the misery of 0 for 19, how hard the game is, and he's in the big leagues, and he's a terrific defensive player, and obviously he's with the right club to give him that bat some time and patience, but the confidence that comes with coming home and actually, getting a few hits, and you grow right in front of it. So.
You mentioned the impact you've been able to have on people's kids. If I were to ask someone that's graduated from the Baseball Canada program what it was like to play for you, what do you hope that they would say?
That he cared about me as a person, and that he spent time with me to get to know me as a player and as a person. I think they're connected. I've always felt that if you're going to coach people's kids, you got to know the people's kids. You got to know the people. So you got to know the parents. And you got to know kind of, because we deal with young kids. So, I mean, they're teenagers. There's a lot going on, right? As we all know, the teenagers have gone through it personally of my own. So I've always respected that. I mean, a lot of times you look at a player in the field and there's an 0 for 4, but maybe off things that are contributing to that 0 for 4. We write about the 0 for 4 and how bad a player was in a given day. And people sometimes say, well, is he hurt? He might be hurt emotionally, he might be hurt in different ways. There's stuff going on. These are human beings, they're real. they only get an escape for 9 innings. I mean, they walk out there, back into it. So I'd like to think that I really enjoy getting to know all the players that we have on a human level and personal level. Because I think if you're going to coach them, you got to know those people and their backgrounds. If you're going to coach somebody, you got to know where they've come from. You got to know what they're dealing with. You got to know the language that works for them and the language that doesn't work for them. I change my language sometimes, to connect. I mean, and you have to, right? Because, so I would hope that I really somebody cared about not just the ones that are on TV. It's I'd say we have a great vehicle for development. It just happens to be baseball in the national program, and it's nice to see them go on and succeed in life. And it's a short time frame that they play baseball, but that would be my hope.
I was going to ask you about, I know you said you don't have the Jose Bautista bat, but you have the Pete Orr scoring the winning run at the 2015, and he was on Canadian soil. I mean, where does that rank in terms of all-time thrills?
Yeah, I mean, that's really, that's as good as it gets in our world, right? To do it at home and see a red, and, in a dramatic fashion that way. I mean, we were kind of, I don't want to say we were down for dead, but we were there, and thankfully they went for the backdoor pickoff that you got to be careful and didn't work and tried to force it. But yeah, that was great. I mean, it's we say with there's a lot of guys in those teams that, and I don't know if they'll have as much of it going forward because of the changes in the game, right? But we had a cycle of our senior program all the way back to when we qualified to go to Athens. We have players in those teams that played 15 and 16 years of pro ball, 17 years of pro ball, and played for us over and over and over again. And Pete's one of them. I mean, it's you just back to the same thing. You stand there, I mean, as a coaching staff, and you're happy for a lot of people. Pete's been for many years, he's played the postseason, but it's different. It's you did it together, you did it for your country. Everybody puts aside the grind of the game and where I am or where I'm not in the game, and it's really, really neat, really different and rewarding to see them succeed and to do it with people and succeed together. And because when you come in here, we're lucky you don't have to really, when you have different generations, you don't have to convince them of what it means. They come in. I mean, Tyler O'Neill was in that group, and I still remember Tyler was in Double A at the time. And Tyler can be very easily misinterpreted. Very easily. But there's a ton of depth to him, and he cares a ton about being a teammate and playing for his country. And he was the guy, the up and coming guy on that team. We had accomplished players, but they were on the backside. And he was the guy in that team that was going, beyond. And we had I remember we put the roster together. My hope was that this would be a tremendous development. So we're surrounded with guys that have done this for 17 years, 15 years in a coaching staff that's been in the game forever, and accomplished at incredible levels. I mean, obviously, walking that context and bringing all the guys into it. I believe that with his personality, he'll come in a little bit misinterpreted with his teammates. And I talked to all the other guys about it. He didn't necessarily know his first program was a lot of the group. And, that's kind of my little piece. And I think you're going to love this. And I think he's going to love you guys. And he's going to grow up with you guys, because when he first walks in, you're going to kind of look sideways because, again, guys had 17 years grinding it out isn't necessarily immediately. If the guy looks like he's figured it out, he's only on the front end, you get a little bit, hey, wait a minute, what's this? But he's not that. And it turned out to be just terrific to watch him kind of grow with those guys and be champion. They knew he was going where they've been in some cases, and they were all happy for him. And he was very deferential to the experience around him, very respectful, which is what you love and develop.
And this got to be a product of what you tried to build, the culture that you tried to build, right? And that kind of taking, because like you said, a lot of times the younger guy thinks he's got it figured out. That doesn't always work out very well in veteran club houses. But just speak a little bit to that culture that you've just created.
Well, yeah, it's it's that because so many have kind of started with the younger programs, and then when they understand that impact, and then they go and have success, and when you can reconnect that success with the next generation, if somebody's kind of a little bit wayward of that, it gets checked pretty quickly, right? In the right way, like, and sometimes the right way can be,
Not the nicest.
or what it might be, yeah. But we don't have a lot of it because everybody gets it. I mean, you think of Ernie. I mean, I've done this selflessly for years, and like, I'm so thankful. I mean, we have continuity with that staff at the senior team level. We have our alumni deeply ingrained with our younger programs. So, and our senior program is, that coaching staff comes back year after year, and people might say, well, why don't you change? Well, why? I mean, look at terrific coaches, a ton of knowledge, and they're all in. Like, we don't travel and charter. We don't, the bus breaks down, which is, we take it. Coach bus that we do have doesn't arrive for our trip back to the Olympic Village, and we're taking the city bus, and and we're in Panama, and it breaks down on the way to the field, and you're not staying in the presidential suite in the corner room, and to have a coaching staff of major league accomplished and professional coaches that just roll with that and make it real and fun and enjoy it, embrace it. I mean, how are you gonna come in as a younger player and not feel that? Like, it's just, so we keep that group together because we're really, really, really fortunate to have them really good and caring, and we have a culture that they all get and make sure that everybody else gets, and in a very real way, So
I ran into you guys actually in the Pearson Airport Hotel at 3:30 in the morning in March, and just you can see the collegiality even at 3 in the morning. The parents as well, and then the coaching staff. I think that's kind of what you try to foster. Is it's individual sport, but it really is a team sport, and you're fostering everybody moving in that direction. Did you gain tips on that from anybody that really said, as you pointed out, you're a player's coach? Did you have anybody that really said this is how you really need to coach?
You know what? It's this is a really stupid analogy, but I don't want to talk about me in the context. But in high school, I won the grade 13, so I dated myself, automotive award for the school. So still go to my high school and see my plaque on a wall. The top mark in auto mechanics and shop. And I learned something. It really struck me, and it stays with me to this day, and it's helped me all the way through coaching. Is that I would have been the last person in that class that I would have ever taken a car to fix. I studied, and theoretically I could write the exam. My peers in that class just loved the cars, and they lived underneath an engine. They didn't study for anything, and they didn't get a good mark because they didn't study. But I knew how good they were and how incompetent I would have ever been. I was fine with the exam that went A, B, C, D, as long as it was a straight line. I can't fix a light bulb. My wife is a testament to that. I married an Italian, and her father, is tremendous, and she's way better in our household at fixing things, whatever. I don't know where it came from, but when I got into coaching, I had some feel to see talent. It just kind of, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone, but it just, I could look at a group of kids, and it just felt at ease to kind of say yes, and a sense of baseball talent. And for me, coaching just came natural because I love people and I love helping. I mean, if I wasn't coaching, I could work at the Boys and Girls Club, and I could work at the YMCA. I could, when I just, and the ability, I love sports, so the ability to combine a love of helping and seeing people realize their potential. It's more than just the skills of the game and the technique of hitting or the technique of throwing or the mechanics or all that stuff. I believe it's way more the human element. You identify the talent the right way, and you get really human with them, and you create a belief that they can do it, and you're there to catch them when you know they're struggling, and when you don't overwhelm them when they're struggling with supposed solutions. That's the other danger of too much information, and these kids will run for it. Now that challenge in our world, now that's what I've seen change the most. Is, I mean, if you're not giving them something, they'll go right to the phone or the internet, and they'll try to find something, and you've got to try to make sure that you let them know they're okay, and it's a natural. Russell Martin went through the same thing, by the way, so you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna be okay. if you want, you can talk with us. We'll want to talk to you.
So cerebral. Like that's what the game is. Yogi said it's half 90% of it. So.
Yeah, you gotta believe. You do it.
Greg, last question.
Yeah.
Just thoughts on Joey Votto and the impact the Toronto Blue Jays have had on baseball since they came here in '77.
Joey's a terrific person. Kind of get in behind. Caring, loyal supporter for our national teams, and I always say, guys don't have to. I mean, Joey went on, had tremendous success. Never played in our junior team, played in our senior teams. They're really bad coaching on that one, but has really, really cared and given back, and he's obviously, you respect talent. With Joey, just the extreme focus on his craft, and obviously, one of the best hitters to ever do it in our country. So I've got to know Joey, I would say reasonably well. Not, as well, not really, but reasonably well, and enough to say that there's a lot of depth, a lot of care, and we're very fortunate that he does care about what we do up here and about our programs. And he comes by, and he comes back for banquets in January, and we're excited to kind of watch where the next step's going to be with
Canadian Baseball Hall, who was introduced into the class of 2025, and that was Greg Hamilton, who's had over 3 decades of coaching with Baseball Canada. Tremendous baseball coach and tremendous person, and it was a great honor to be able to interview him and speak to him about his baseball career and getting into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, which is located in beautiful St. Mary's, Ontario. Check out their website, baseballhalloffame.ca, or go down to St. Mary's. I believe it's on 386 Church Street South in St. Mary's, Ontario. Scott Crawford and Lindsay Earl do a great job down there as well. So I'm hoping to be back at the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame for their class of 2026 next June. And it's a really beautiful Hall of Fame, and I would highly recommend it. So baseballhalloffame.ca, or go down to the Hall of Fame, again, at 386 Church Street South in St. Mary's, Ontario, which is about 35 minutes from London. It's located between Stratford and Guelph in beautiful St. Mary's, Ontario. So some CFL news, guys, tonight. I just got this from the CFL media department. The Saskatchewan-Calgary game, which was supposed to kick off at 9 p.m. tonight, 7 Mountain Standard Time out in Calgary. The game is going to be delayed 45 minutes approximately to about 9:45 our time here on the East Coast, 7:45 in Calgary time, due to the air quality from the fires out west. And hopefully they can get this game in tonight. So CFL game tonight is now going to be at 9:45 Eastern instead of 9 o'clock, which is 7:45 Mountain Standard Time as well. And I will be in Hamilton tomorrow, Saturday, July 12th, for the 7 o'clock matchup between the 2-2 Hamilton Tiger Cats, coming off back-to-back wins against the Montreal Alouettes at home and the Grey Cup champion Toronto Argonauts last weekend. And Ottawa is 1-4 right now. So Hamilton is looking to tie Montreal for first in the East with a win tomorrow night as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, again, I apologize. There was a miscommunication between me and my guest, Jenaya Parker. So I'm going to try in the future to reach out to her and reschedule her for live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. As we wrap up this show, guys, if you're looking for a personalized video message, I am on Cameo. Go to cameo.com, type in my name, Chris Pame, and book your Cameo. I do happy birthday wishes, happy anniversary, pep talks, greetings, If you want to just ask me questions about my talk show, some of the favorite people I've interviewed on this show, or my freelance media work for a number of pro sports teams, go to cameo.com, type in my name, Chris Palme, and book your Cameo today. I am on another social media site now, guys. I'm on Blue Sky Social. Blue Sky Social is sort of like what Twitter X used to be like, and my name there is @live with CDP19, @live with CDP19 on Blue Sky Social, and I post there regularly as well. Again, if you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge and District Community Society at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number to book an appointment to see some of the pets, 519-623-7722, extension 0, and their website is cambridgehumanesociety.org. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is live streamed on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And fingers crossed one day StreamYard can partner up with TikTok. So hopefully that'll be my 7th platform I can broadcast this show live as well. Speaking of websites, if you guys would like to check out my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. That's beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. All my social media sites, my WordPress site where I do my game night articles for pro sports teams are there. If you want to check out some of my past episodes with guests, it's all there on beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. Again, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for their newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. Or you can call them at 519-824-0210. Tell them Chris Palme sent you. Or email the dealership at info@barrycullen.com. I am a content creator on TikTok as well. If you'd like to follow me on TikTok, go to TikTok at Chris Palme, and I post a lot of content there as well. So check me out on TikTok at Chris Palme. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars, live streaming, podcasting, whatever, go to StreamYard.com and contact your sales department for business pricing as well. And yours truly has been with StreamYard now for 4 years, and I give them a big thumbs up as well. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the audio version is on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. And please remember to subscribe and hit follow there as well. And I want to say thank you to my audio listeners. I've hit almost 9,100 listens and plays on Spotify and 46 countries around the world. So thank you so much for your support. Finally, guys, you can email the show Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpalme19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback would be greatly appreciated. If you like my talk show and like my content on YouTube, and you'd like to contribute towards my content on my YouTube channel and this talk show, I am on PayPal, cpalme19@gmail.com. If you'd like to contribute to this talk show and my YouTube channel as well. So PayPal, cpalme19@gmail.com. Finally, guys, you can follow me on these platforms: Facebook, Twitter, X, Threads, Instagram, LinkedIn, Blue Sky Social. And please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chris Palme, Live with CDP Talk Show. And again, thank you to all my subscribers and over 461,000 views of content as well. And that is about it for tonight's episode, guys. I guess this is the best of Live with CDP. I did air interviews with Toronto Argonauts offensive lineman Dylan Giffen, Dustin Richardson from the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team, and Greg Hamilton from the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. I will try to reach out to my scheduled guest, Jenaya Parker from J. Parker Sports Agency Management Firm in San Diego, and we'll see if we can get Jenaya Parker on again as a future guest as well. And finally, the next live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by BarryCullen.com, to be announced this weekend on my social media pages. I'm working on more guests and more shows for next week. And the next Argo Bounce podcast show, which is on a bye week this week with co-host Chris Palme and Nick Small, is going to be on Tuesday, July 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 on the West Coast, with a special guest from TSN. So you have to tune in, and we're on all the same platforms as this show is as well. And one last announcement, the Small Talk podcast, which is a monthly entertainment talk show with co-host Chris Palme and Marlene Sharp, will return on will return on, Monday, July 28th. That's Monday, July 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock on the West Coast. And Marlene and I have a couple of special guests from the animation industry coming on our show. So you'll have to tune into that as well. So the Small Talk podcast returns Monday, July 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 on the West Coast. And that is about it for tonight, guys. Again, the Detroit Tigers are in action tonight against Seattle. At last count, they were trailing Seattle 1-0 at Comerica Park. And the Toronto Blue Jays are on the road tonight to take on those Sacramento A's out in Sacramento in a AAA ballpark. And I expect the Jays to bounce back from their 2-1 loss to the White Sox the other day as well. And again, tonight we've got CFL Saskatchewan 4-0 against Calgary at 3-1. That game has been delayed for at least 45 minutes due to the air quality out in Calgary, and that game is on TSN. And again, I will be in Hamilton tomorrow for the Tiger Cats Ottawa Red Blacks game. So please check out my social media pages for pictures, videos, and some pre and post game interviews with members of the Hamilton Tiger Cats as well. So I hope everybody has a great evening. Enjoy the sports, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday for the Argo Bounce podcast show with Nick Small and myself at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 on the West Coast. Thank you, everyone, for watching this show, listening to it, and to my sponsor, Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. Have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks again for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show.